song. So, and today's song is Bottled Emotions, which is a really important song, right? And it's an important song because it was on the original In the Deep End. So when I was creating the album, again, I was creating In the Deep End 2, which is the sequel, right? When I was doing New Depths, I was thinking to myself, there's a lot of untapped stuff that I didn't get to do with the other songs that I wanted to do in the Deep End. So I took a lot of the songs from the previous ones and I put it in New Depths, right? One, because Taylor Made Beats, one of my favorite producers, who I get a lot of my beats from. When I'm not making mine, that's where I get most of my beats from. He helped inspire the album, so it was only right that he was on the second one. Like, I wasn't gonna make a second In the Deep End 2 and not put Taylor Made Beats songs on there. It's not happening, right? Because he's inspired it. There's no In the Deep End 2 if he doesn't inspire the album, right? There's no In the Deep End if he doesn't inspire the album. So I put Bottled Emotions on there, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to retell the story of Bottled Emotions, because the first one, depressing. Straight depressing. I know where I was in my mental space. It's okay. I'm not knocking myself. I'm not beating myself down. But straight depressing, right? And so I couldn't copy and paste. I'm not going to take what I did in Bottled Emotions, as dope as it was, though. It was pretty dope even without my productions, right? You can hear what I was going for. But I want to take that and then just rehash it into here. So the Bottled Emotions in here versus the one before is a completely different song. It's the same song, but it's a completely different song because it tells the story that the other one was telling, but it goes further with it based off of where I'm at now. And so in Bottled Emotions, what's interesting is it starts off with the same thing that I started off with in the first one, right? And that was a prayer that turned into a verse. So the verse that I do that begins off was an actual prayer that I did. And I was like, it would really be deep if this song starts off with me literally talking to the very thing that helped me pull me out of the deep end, right? And that was God, right? Shocker. That's, if you've been following me or you haven't followed me, go to my page. You make it very clear what helped me get out of the deep end, right? And that was increasing my spiritual health. And so I start off with that, right? So after it comes right behind, it follows right behind after In the Deep End and the chaos, and I recollect myself and I go, hey, listen, Leo, help me, right? It's basically a help me verse, right? And then it breaks into the song, right? And it starts turning around and going through all the different things I was holding in, why it's toxic, why it was turning around and breaking me down, right? Hence the reason of the chorus looks like a bottle of my emotions again, right? And so I wanted to turn around and layer all that and make that sound different, right? And then it has a very lo-fi key to it, so rather than just making a straight vocal of me just kind of like doing the chorus, doing the verses and everything like that, I wanted to add dynamics to it. So even the chorus, right? Like I bottle my emotions, it has like echo chambers around it because that's what, I'm in my head, right? And so the echo chambers kind of like play more to what the verses are saying, right? So that way when you get to the verse, after you hear the echo of the stuff and you get to the verse, it like hones in, right? Because even the verses, I made the verses tight. I use like a clean thing so that way when the verses are going, right, it's a talk type thing. Like you hear the clearness of the verses. That's on purpose, right? And so I didn't really put any filter behind it. Just kind of like mixed it in and everything like that, but put it to where you can clearly hear my verse as I'm saying the verses, because it's some heavy stuff that's getting said, right? And so that was the thought process behind Bottled Emotions, right? That's the cool part about it too, and the dynamics and everything like that. And so you'll see a lot of other songs from the previous one in there retransformed into a different atmosphere, and Bottled Emotions is one of those. And again, shout out to Taylor Made Beats, because that was a dope that was a dope beat, right? Especially the way it starts off all clunky with the tune, 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 and everything like that. I did edit a part that was an original one that was not in this one out, because it usually starts off as that's what it sounds like in my head and stuff like that, right? But I took that part out, right? Because I think that prayer verse thing already sets the tone of the song. Like you can get the gist of what's going to happen after I literally do that prayer, right? or grace, right? Like, you know where this is going. And so Bottled Emotions does a good job of turning around doing it. It was a very deep song. It was very deep lyrics and everything. And those lyrics are stuff that actually happened, right? And so, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how Bottled Emotions went. So once again, this has been Deep in the Song. I'm Drew Lyon, the voice, and I'll catch you again on the next one.